Well, good morning. I'm Steve Owens, Interim Chancellor at the University of Missouri, and I want to thank you all for being here on this historic and exciting occasion. Let me begin today's program by recognizing some of the current members of the Board of Curators who are here with us today. First, Wayne Good, the current chair of the board. Don Downing. Don Downing, current vice chair and chair-elect of the board. And Curator Ann Covington, who also served as co-chair of the Chancellor Search Committee. I would also like to recognize former members of the Board of Curators who are in attendance today. First, Curator Emeritus Don Walsworth. Curator Emeritus Tom Atkins. Where are you, Tom? And Curator Emeritus Jim Sterling. To the curators past and present, thank you for your service to the university, and thank you for being here today. Also with us today is Tom George, Chancellor of the University of Missouri St. Louis. Tom, thank you for driving in from St. Louis today. And I want to give special recognition to someone who needs no introduction, because we're all well aware of his many years of significant contributions to the university, and that's Chancellor Emeritus Brady Deaton. Unfortunately, Dr. Ann Deaton could not be with us today, but Brady, please know that you both are already missed, but we're fortunate to have you here to continue your work with the Brady and Ann Deaton Institute for University Leadership and International Development, and we all look forward to seeing that institute flourish under your leadership. So thank you for being here. As you all know, we've been working very hard to find a leader for this great university since Chancellor Deaton announced his retirement in June, and so it's now my pleasure to call on our next speaker, who will introduce the 22nd Chancellor in the 174-year history of the University of Missouri. Please welcome to the podium University of Missouri System President Tim Wolfe.
Good morning. Actually, it's a great morning, especially for the members of the MU community. Welcome all to a day that we have been excitedly anticipating for some time. Today, our great university takes another big step forward with the official announcement of the 22nd Chancellor of the University of Missouri. And I can tell you with great certainty that we have achieved what we set out to do several months ago. And that is, we have indeed found excellence in our selection of MU's next leader, Dr. Bowen Loftin. I want to take a moment to thank and acknowledge some very important people who have helped make today's celebration a reality. First, I want to thank two individuals who have agreed to serve as transition leaders to MU so that the university can continue the momentum. That's Interim Chancellor Steve Owens and Deputy Chancellor and Transition Executive Mike Middleton. Thank you, Mike. And Steve. We know the university's day-to-day operations are in very capable hands with Mike and Steve's leadership. My deepest thanks also to the members of the MU Chancellor Search Committee, led by co-chairs Curator Ann Covington and Dean Mills. In addition, Vice President of Human Resources Betsy Rodriguez's leadership and stewardship was critical to the outcome of the successful search. Their tireless efforts in identifying only the best candidates that truly fit our university's elite status as a land-grant AAU institution has led us to the appointment of a tremendous new leader. Would the members of the search committee please stand up and be recognized? Today really is an exciting day, the start of a new chapter in the history of a great university. I want to reassure our many passionate MU constituents that the search committee, as well as myself, have taken great care in making this critical decision. It was imperative that we honor the input that all of you gave us last summer when we held town meetings with every constituency of the university community, including faculty, staff, students, alumni, extension, donors, and the general public. We heard from over 600 of you during these town meetings. You came to us and you provided your input as to the qualities you wanted to see in our next MU chancellor, and we have honored your requests. You told us that you wanted a chancellor who would decisively lead our university, embracing change, working through influence, and earning the trust and respect of the entire campus community. It has been said that when your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Our next chancellor is just that, a dynamic leader that will step in and inspire and take our university to new heights. What we heard from our campus constituents is the desire for a chancellor that had qualities such as demonstrated excellence in leading a higher education institution that specifically was a public AAU university, an understanding of and passion for the university's public land grant mission and commitment to the state, one that had outstanding communication and relationship skills, including an ability to energize the campus to achieve its mission, execute on its vision, and advance its reputation, a history of leading transformational change, a solid track record of developing new revenue streams, including private fundraising and solicitation of grants and contracts, a demonstrated track record of achieving diversity and inclusiveness among faculty, staff, administrators, and students, a demonstrated commitment to collegial and collaborative inclusiveness and shared governance, an ability to lead a complex, multifaceted institution that includes an academic health system and a high-profile Division I athletic program that emphasizes academic success, athletic prowess, and excellent sportsmanship. Our ideal leader is all of these things, as well as a higher education visionary that will energize our university community in building a commitment to future possibilities, with a willingness to take risks, but not shying away from hard decisions. I'm pleased to report to you that these qualities that you wanted in the 22nd Chancellor of the University of Missouri are the very qualities you will find in our next leader. Our next Chancellor is one of the most respected leaders in higher education today, and someone who deeply understands and appreciates the challenges of leading a major public land-grant AAU level university. Texas A&M is just that, a major institution that has over 56,000 students, which under his leadership of our new chancellor has excelled. Let me give you some data points on that. Research expenditures at Texas A&M are over $700 million per year. An inclusive process for budgeting reallocation has been established in the face of a 14% state funding reduction, as well as, for the last 3 years, flat tuition. Our new chancellor also has spearheaded a spectacular new multi-billion-dollar capital campaign with total gifts for the last fiscal year of over $740 million, which includes the highest single gift that he was personally responsible for in the history of Texas A&M. He led the midterm assessment of the university's long-range vision and development of its 5-year strategic plan. He successfully led Texas A&M's transition from the Big 12 Conference to the SEC. Sounds familiar, huh? Dr. Loftin led efforts to acquire a private law school and integrate it into the university, and presided over a major merger with the University System's Health Science Center. He is nationally respected in his academic field of physics, a frequent consultant to both industry and government, and the author or co-author of more than 100 publications, and he is frankly one of the most beloved presidents that Texas A&M has ever had, highly popular with students whom he adores, and well known for his famous bow ties and command of social media. The next chancellor of our university is all these things, and he's just the individual we need to lead MU to continued greatness in the years ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the 22nd Chancellor of the University of Missouri-Columbia and our newest Missouri Tiger, Dr. Bowen Loftin.
Good morning to you all. It's a pleasure to be here today, albeit a bit chilly for me, but it's okay. Looking around the room, I feel right at home. I see many bow ties here, including Truman. I must say, flattery will work. I have to begin by adding to President Wolfe's remarks about thanks to key people here. The search committee, certainly, the president himself, system officers, and the board of curators. It's been a pleasure to go through the process. It was not a simple process, but it was fairly prompt. We moved at a good clip compared to any I've done before, and I was extremely blessed, I think, in terms of being able to feel comfortable at every stage of the process. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Andy. You did a great job running that committee. It was a great committee. That was my initial interface to the process. Then I met President Wolfe, although we met before a few times in a casual way. I'd met him in a very serious way not too long ago. And then, of course, proceeded to talk to the board. And all those steps were handled beautifully and very, very well. Brady, you and Ann owed a great deal of thanks. You have shepherded this school admirably. We thank you for that. Never forget what you've been able to do here at Missouri. And we look forward to engaging with you going forward. You aren't leaving. That's a good thing. Sometimes you want the old guy to go, and not this time. Not this time. Not this time. And Steve, you and Mike, I look forward to working with you further. It's going to be a busy, challenging several weeks and months going forward here to do the transition fully, but I look forward to working with you carefully and appreciate all you've done already to make this possible. Karen and I are delighted to be part of the MU family. No bones about that. We have known of you a long time. You are a fellow member of the AU with the current university I lead. Brady and I also had a bit of time together in the Big 12, which was interesting. And my new book will talk all about it, Brady. Also, APLU, the public land-grant universities are special to me. Though that organization is where I've spent my time, as you have, Brady, and I was able to talk to Peter yesterday, Peter McPherson, and convey personally the news to him, and he was delighted to have this just told to him. Of course, being part of the SEC is pretty special. There aren't many schools I would have even thought about associating with after Texas A&M, but Missouri fits all the pieces. Every piece is there. You have to understand how far back I go here, though. I came here in the 1970s as a very young professor at a different university to collect data to a reactor. You have a unique research reactor here at Missouri, and it gave me what I needed. And I was a very young professor, very much starting out in my profession. I had no money except a little travel money to get here, and normally beam time costs money. And you were so good to me to say, we'll give it to you free, and helped me immensely to collect the data I had to have and go forward, which led to grants and other things I was able to secure over time. So I go back a long ways in that particular measure of this university, and I really appreciated the hospitality I was accorded that many years ago. It made it possible for me to begin in a very successful way my academic career. There are a lot of intersections of people here, too. You would know some of the people that I know who came through this university, graduated, and are very proud to be from Mizzou. But I'll mention one in particular that spent time here. Many of you may remember Haskell Monroe. Haskell spent time here in the late 80s, early 90s as your chancellor. He, of course, had been many years at Texas A&M as a professor, rising dean of faculties there, our first dean of faculties, before going to UTEP as president and coming here to Mizzou. Haskell I see from time to time. He is retired in College Station, Texas, and he's still active, and I still see him from time to time. And he has nothing but praise for this university. You have to understand, too, that a land-grant university, to me, is very, very special. I could be a poster child for a land grant. I grew up in a very poor family in a very small town in Navasota, Texas, about 25 miles from College Station. My parents weren't very educated. My dad finished 6th grade, and his farming, ranching father said, time to go to work. He was 13. I learned later on in life he was a very bright man, but uneducated. And he insisted that I would go to college. That was a big thing for him. My mom went to high school. That's as far as she could go. And they worked very hard to put food on the table, clothes on our back, and be able to make sure we could actually live comfortably in that small town I grew up in. And Navasota, and Texas A&M was that land grant that reached out to me, gave me the kind of support financially I had to have to go there, and then gave me a great education. So I truly believe in the land grant mission, a mission really defined in the western part of the U.S. by this university here. You were the first public university, West Mississippi, and you really, I think, define land grants for this part of the country. So that's a key thing to understand about me. Who I am, where I came from, matches, I think, exactly why this university was made to exist and goes forward today. It's been very, very good to look at you from the outside in and see the strengths of a university. I had bits and pieces of it over the last couple of months here as this became even a faint possibility. I looked more carefully at Mizzou and realized what great strengths you have here. A lot of things are here that are very special, almost unique in some respects, and provide the basis for, I think, further development and further success. No university can be everything. You've got to identify where you want to be special, and you've got to take those things and build them up even further. That's how you're successful as a university. That's how you're recognized as a university. And the good news is you have a lot to be proud of here at Mizzou. And I hope to work with all of you as a community to not only identify these strengths, which I think you already know what they are, but to take them and build on top of them the true greatness this university is capable of. It won't be happening overnight, but I think we can begin a trajectory now. It'll be exciting for all of us, and we'll recognize the success of the past, but also recognize what can happen in the future that could be even better in some respects. I think the UM system has a lot to offer as well. The system is strong. It's a smaller system in some respects than I come from right now, but a system with universities at a much higher level. At Texas A&M system, we have really one flagship and small regional institutions primarily. Here you have 3 other national universities to work with. And I see opportunities for collaboration between system members here that will actually leverage each other and their strengths to build even more greatness on each campus as well as at the system level going forward. I'm excited about the ability the university will have to engage new faculty. New faculty are really essential. You have to have a bit coming in over time to be able to continue the renewal process that's so important for a university's lifeblood. And so I think the resources are now coming into play to allow this university to invest in some new faculty, to match them very strategically with the current faculty you have here, to really provide, again, that basis for going forward. I'm looking really forward to working with every college here to make that happen. Your extension is a wonderful thing as well. It touches everyone in Missouri, everyone in Missouri. I've learned through Texas A&M, which has a similar arrangement with its partner institution, extension agency, how vital this is to the state, but how it connects the state together through the university. And so I think that is another great strength you bring here. In Texas A&M, it's not under the university. It's a separate institution system-wide, which made my life a little more complicated than I'd like for it to have been sometimes. Here, it's really cohesive. and that gives you a great strength others may lack. So I look forward to working with Extension as well. I look forward to engaging across the state with all institutions here, both 2 and 4 year as appropriate, but going beyond the state as well, to national, international relationships that already you have in place in many cases. Brady, you've been great in terms of reaching out internationally and leading efforts to truly make an impact outside the United States in the area of agriculture. And that's going to continue and be strengthened as well. So we have a good basis, again, to go forward from. And I look forward to working with Brady and others here to affect these kinds of collaborations, again, not just statewide, nationwide, but truly worldwide. I really appreciate the fact you've already looked inside yourselves and found 4 areas of great strength. And we did this recently at Texas A&M the last couple of years. It's been the basis for a lot of success, including fundraising success at Texas A&M. We've identified food for the future, sustainable energy, One Health, One Medicine, and media for the future as 4 unique areas you think you're good at already and you are good at. And those can become the basis again for extraordinary success going forward. And finally, I have to speak about this from the standpoint of who I am. A&M has 6 core values that I have embraced in my lifetime. You've reduced them to 4, but they're very similar topics. They're very similar things. Give me great comfort that I match you and you match me, which is essential for us to be able to work together effectively. Respect, responsibility, discovery, excellence. These 4 things, I could say other ways and break them into the 6 we use at Texas A&M, but they mean the same thing. And again, I will add one piece to that, which is buried in these 4 here, and that's integrity. To me, integrity is my lot in life. I will always hold myself to the highest standards of integrity. That's all I ask of anybody. Once you lose that, you've lost everything. You really simply cannot go back again and correct that. So I know integrity is a truly embedded core value here also at Missouri, at UM, and it's my core value as well. So with that, I'll simply end this conversation and say, Karen and I are so happy to emerge here as part of your family. We look forward to meeting all of you over time and truly embracing this wonderful university, this wonderful city in which you rest, this great state, and to make the difference we can make here with your help. So thank you all for your support. Thanks for being welcoming to Karen and I today.
Well, thank you, Dr. Loftin, and welcome to the university. We're excited to get you here to Columbia and get you started, no one more so than me. So, welcome. During the search, it was our priority to make the transition as smoothly as possible. This would require a leader who was skilled, who was experienced, and who could serve as the bridge from past leadership to future leadership. And we found such a person in our next speaker. Please welcome to the podium my friend and colleague, Deputy Chancellor and Transition Executive Mike Middleton.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone who cares deeply for this great university, as I do, and as I'm sure all of you gathered here do, should really be celebrating this day and the choice of Dr. Loftin as our next chancellor. Those of us who are familiar with his background and his reputation and his significant leadership accomplishments over the years know for certain that our beloved Mizzou will be in the best hands possible as we look forward to our 175th year. We're particularly known for our collaborative culture, and we take great pride in describing ourselves and conducting our work as one Mizzou, embracing all that that phrase connotes. So we say to you both today, Bowen and Karen, welcome to our family, the Mizzou family, which extends across the state, across the nation, and indeed around the world. And the Mizzou family is very proud of its uniform. And so let me present you.
Tiger suit.
It's not quite a Truman suit, but it's Truman looks so good. But we do have some items here in our traditional black and gold to get your tiger wardrobe started. And perhaps they will help you with our ever-changing Missouri weather. There we go. There's also a hat, and for today, some gloves. Where are the picture people? Oh, there we go.
Hold it up. Put it on.
Absolutely.
Okay, this concludes today's program. I'd like to thank you all again for being here for this both historic and exciting event. At this time, members of the media will be escorted to a news conference to be held with Dr. Lofton and the President in the T.O. Wright room. And while the members of the media are assembling in that room, Dr. Lofton will have a few short minutes to say hello to folks and shake hands. So thank you all again for coming.